What's going on, everybody? Almost in full color panel is back, and of course, this is a Destiny 2 wellness check, so we couldn't do it without the Guardian known as B. Gentlemen, how's everyone doing today?
Doing great.
Doing good.
All right, as promised, this is a wellness check, and it's coming right at the end of Season of Arrival. So let's start there. Season of Arrivals gave us a Witherhoard. They gave us a fly ass sword, Umbral engrams. Ultimately, how did you all feel about this entire season as a whole?
Fly ass sword? Do you mean the overpowered sword?
Yes.
Okay. I never thought it looked all that good, so that's why I was just making sure.
Yeah,
I enjoyed
I
it.
liked it.
I enjoyed the sword thoroughly, but I just didn't think it looked all that great.
Yeah.
But anyway, I mean, I enjoyed the season. It's been what the other couple seasons have been. Pretty much just content a little tweaked. I didn't really feel like much was done differently than was done on, I would say, the last one or two season passes.
True.
Yeah.
I will say it's actually leading up to something, which seems like it's not terrible for the first time ever. We actually have a storyline that's continuing, so that's good. In a sense.
I liked it. I just saw one of the cutscenes I haven't seen by playing on my Titan. I haven't taken him through the missions, and I actually got a time to actually watch the cutscene, and I was like, oh shit, that's what we were.
Oh yeah, you talking about how they changed the end?
Yeah, and I was like,
that
oh,
got me.
yeah.
I was like, oh, this is different.
Yeah.
So I wonder if they're going to change it again, like the last week before Beyond Light actually goes live. Will we get one final cutscene to kind of walk us into it?
I think there's something that's going to happen that's going to make it so that we can't, because they're taking the Dreaming City, the Tangled Shore, Mars, and what else?
Wait, what do you mean they're taking?
Aren't they taking stuff away?
No, that's gonna stay.
Which's gonna stay?
Dreaming City and Tangle sure are staying.
Oh,
Mars
really?
Because Last Wish is still staying as a raid, so
Mercury
that stuff's staying.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Mercury.
Wow, that changes a lot of stuff I didn't know.
Yeah, it's Mercury, Mars. It's everything for the Traveler's Chosen quest. So it's Mercury, Mars, and Io and Titan.
Oh. Well, yeah. Well, with that stuff.
We got another dungeon also this season with the Prophecy. In comparison to the first dungeon, was a Shattered Throne and Pit of Heresy. How did you all feel about the Prophecy dungeon in comparison to those two?
To the Pit of Heresy and what?
Shattered Throne, I believe, was the name of the other one.
I didn't play Shattered Throne.
There's also the bad juju too.
Yeah, I didn't play Shattered Throne, but I did play the Pit of Heresy. But in comparison, I would say Prophecy was a little cooler than Pit of Heresy. I would just say just because obviously it dealt with all the different realities and stuff, but it seemed like there was a lot more cryptic stuff hidden in the Prophecy dungeon. I think it was like a gun or something was actually hidden inside the Pit of Heresy, but it seemed like there was a lot of little different things you could do with the Prophecy dungeon. A lot of different paths and stuff you could take to get to certain endings. So that was kind of cool.
Yeah, the dungeons have been good so far. I mean, they're not. I guess it's something you have besides having to worry about doing a raid, but I think everybody would still want a raid, even though like they're not terrible. I don't think
there's no matchmaking in the dungeons, right?
No.
Yeah, I didn't think so. It was at least it makes it a little easier, I guess, to get since you only got to get 2 other people.
Yeah, I would say it hasn't been terrible though. I mean, they're dungeons that they've done. I mean, when they first started talking about it, it was like really great. And they've kind of leveled up since then, but most of the mechanics you end up finding in the dungeon are mechanics that happen during the story. So they're still having that thing happen.
I like just the pure aesthetic of the dungeon. I was pretty pleased with it. I thought the attention to detail was amazing as usual. I like the Pit of Heresy and the Shattered Throne for their themes, but I like the theme of the last one the best, just because of how the room turns and it really kind of made me think like, oh wow, this is a pretty cool puzzle. The other one, they, I don't know, it didn't have the entire room changing, I guess, as much as the last one. So that part really appealed to me. And then just aesthetically speaking, like I like the appeal of the pyramid stuff, like the nine. I like the way that all that looks. So I like it. It's probably my favorite. I wish I had a chance to run it more, to be honest.
Yeah, I like the prophecy dungeon a whole lot. The light, dark moats and cleansing and all that stuff going down. I thought it was a pretty good dungeon, and however, like Terry said, I do feel like raids have a better overall experience. But for something a little bit more than a strike, but less than a raid, I think it kind of like fills that little gap in between there. I guess that's the name
I think
dungeon.
it's a mini raid,
Yeah,
like a raid for 3 people.
yeah. So
a dungeon.
yeah,
I was say
definitely
that's,
lives up to that name.
That's what it is. It's a dungeon like in Final Fantasy. Small. It's not a complete raid, but it has almost raid mechanics.
Got raid-like tendencies.
Yeah,
It's real raid-ish.
hence dungeon.
But now that we're coming to the end of season arrivals and are looking forward to Beyond Light, there are some things on the horizon that we should talk about before we get into Beyond Light. So first and foremost, let's talk about the build up to Beyond Light. How do you all feel about in terms of those interference missions week by week and leading up into kind of like the flow that's led into Beyond Light? Do you all feel like they're doing better with in terms of flowing the story, or is it still leaving something to be desired?
Well, that's what I was speaking about earlier. Like I just saw that cutscene, and I was like, oh yeah, that's what it was doing. So I mean, I think that as best as they can do for the genre or whatever type they're trying to fit into, whatever category they're trying to lean into or like meld the two together. I think it's pretty good, but I always wish that they could do better. More cutscenes, explain the story a little bit like better throughout the missions. But then some people get, I guess, a little antsy and want to just get to the end so that they can level up, beat people up in the Crucible. And I dig it, but I love the story. I wish that they had a little bit more of the stuff that I read about in the books or what I'll hear from some of the other big speakers of Destiny on like YouTube and stuff like that. I'd like to see more of that in there.
I mean, I think they're getting a little better. I guess saying they're getting better really isn't saying a lot. Because obviously, they did so poorly at it. But I do feel like they've probably been trying to make a little bit more of a concerted effort to at least try to let you know what's going on. Like, same thing with B said. Like, I was actually shocked when I got the, I guess, additional cutscene or the different cutscene at the end of the but it's to get the pinnacle drop or whatever, means to an end or something, I believe it's called. So like I said, it would be cool if we got like one final one on the last week just to kind of really bring us in. I would definitely like to see some more of, I guess, our dark alternate self. That was actually really crazy when I seen that cutscene, but I really haven't seen much. I don't really know what that was, but hopefully,
I think they'll have something to close it out. And
yeah.
Also to what I was speaking about earlier, I was trying to say like when they get rid of the planets, I think that they'll have a reason for why they're like we won't be going. I imagine
it'd be interesting to see what they do. I think this is the first time we've actually had a continuation of DLC, if I'm not mistaken.
They're going to cover all the other planets in stasis. Watch.
I can see them doing that.
That fallen queen that was utilizing stasis, they're going to say something like, she covered those lands in stasis. It's up to us, Guardians. We must save all of the other realms, or whatever they call the planets, or whatever, from the stasis lock of the fallen queen.
Why are you doing that, man? Why you do that?
Hey, that's what's going to happen.
At least if you're going to give ideas, at least ask them to give us money.
We'll see. But as it was just alluded to, that content is getting removed, and if you haven't done the Traveler's Chosen quest, like, well, yes, that's a thing. Content is being removed. How do you all feel like this is for new light players, people who are doing free to play? As this was kind of a big selling point, I guess, for them, was you're going to get Warmind, Osiris, a base campaign, and all this. And with all this content getting removed, they're not going to be able to play much of that content that the free to play people were supposed to get. So, do you feel like there is now a lack of content for new light players, or
Kind of hard to complain when you're getting it for free. So
That's what
I
I
mean,
was
yeah,
thinking. I
it
was like,
is.
I can't really be mad at them for taking something away, and then it depends on how much is actually removed. If it's just those planets and then the Crucible maps, but then they give us some other ones and like some new content, I mean the veterans for sure won't be, or like the people who use the paid content won't be pissed because we get something new out of it. But the other people, I don't know. Would they even notice?
I mean,
I mean,
like I
It
said,
depends on when they come in. It's
the
after the
free
new light, then
pe-
they're just
people
gonna
who got
know
it for
what they know.
free would be good. I mean, they should be good anyway because, like you said, they got it for free. I mean, I would never be upset that something was taken from me that I had to literally put nothing into to get. I'm contrary to what B said about the whole paid thing. Like, I'm not a fan of paying for something and then they take it to give me something else. Like,
It's
there's
gonna
no
come
way you
back.
should have. Yeah, I don't trust that. They're already trying
It's
to
gonna
wind
come back.
Destiny down, so I don't see
Oh, I don't see
when
it
they're
coming
going to
back.
bring it back.
They're
Yeah,
I
gonna
see
they
bring
no
it back.
reason. I see no reason to bring something back that nobody was using in the first place. Like, granted, I don't know if it's even worth it at this point. It's just like, oh yeah, we're doing this so you can have like way less, like more optimization to it. Like that's the reason they're giving us currently. I have no reason for them to bring it back, especially content we barely play. But it's still like,
I
why
mean,
are you
I just
taking
feel like they
content
should have
from
took it in
us?
the first place. Like we
Yeah,
paid for it.
I
Like,
agree.
which is always like that's weird to me. But it's like we paid for it, they took it, and they gave no real reason other than they said the game was getting too big. Like what? Like if that was an issue, they said the game was getting too big, then do something like a partial download. Like give us the ability to say, well, you can uninstall all those old planets to make room for the new content if space is an issue on your console or on your PC. If you want to do this, then we'll, put the little tool out there that it'll remove those destinations and those activities and obviously free up the space on your hard drive. And then when you install the new stuff, it's kind of like a tit for tat thing. But don't you just take my content to say, oh, well, the game was getting too big. It's like, no, I don't feel like it was. Like, I feel like they turned paid content into a real service like subscription. And the game was never supposed to be a service. It was a game that we bought like each step of the way. No one else is upset about it, I guess. I don't play it enough, so it is what it is.
I don't necessarily care, but as long as they're not taking anything of extreme
But that's the
value.
problem, like not caring. Like you literally bought it. Like the thing, like
It's like
especially B and P,
1984.
the thing they harp
It's not.
about all
It
the
doesn't
time
matter
is saying
now.
like,
But what else are they
oh,
gonna
don't go
take?
digital because they can take it. And they were literally doing that to you now, and you're like, it's fine. Like I understand. We need new stuff. It's like you're only saying that because you really like the game. But they're doing what you hate and what you don't want to happen. So like don't give them an excuse because someone else is going to use the same excuse if they get away with it. Like they're just laying the groundwork for people to pull content from their games.
Oh, people already do it
So,
as it is.
but I'm saying, but Destiny is a huge game, and that's a lot of content they're pulling. It's not like an event. It's not like they just took a strike out the game. Like, bro, they taking a lot of stuff from us. Like, and it was extra stuff we paid for. It's not even like from the first disc. I'll let somebody else go. I'll stop harping on it.
As I told B when D2 was coming out, I had a feeling that they were gonna say, "Oh, there's all this brand new stuff," and then bring back stuff from D1, and then you end up paying for it. And sure enough, we see that coming full circle now with
I
them
get the
bringing
Vault of
back
Glass, right?
Vault of Glass, and it's a
That's all
bunch
that
of stuff that
matters.
we had prior to that they're bringing back. A bunch of exotics. So
I never got the Mythic
it's
Glass.
I never did get the Mythic Class either, but I
Is it
kind of
Mythic
like
Cast
that.
or Mythic
I,
Glass?
I kind of like that about that. Not a lot of people do, but I personally did like the fact that I didn't have certain guns that other people had, and I had certain shit that other people never got. So Like I got a G Horn, Gaines never got one. But
Yep.
the Gaines ever get
He
a
could have
Mythic
had
class?
one.
Yeah, Mythic. Yeah, I did get the Mythic class.
Yeah, so I always thought that was a cool aspect that I'd never really. I mean, I know a lot of people don't. Everyone wants to have everything, but I kind of like that. I thought that gave some format of uniqueness to everyone. I don't know. I don't like the vaulting of content, and I'm just hoping that the ultimate evil doesn't occur. And they're like, "Oh, okay, you freed
It's
all the planets. Hey,
it's like a
pay
double
this
slap in the
$15 to get it
it's a
back."
double slap in the face. Like not only
Yeah.
like you said, they vaulted, they take all the content away that you paid for, and it wasn't like those are like little free DLCs. If they were and they took them back, cool. I wouldn't even complain about it because I didn't have to pay extra money. But I paid extra money for that. You took it, and like you said, you're gonna rework it a little bit, tweak the guns a little bit, maybe change their roles. Change what's buffed, what's the weapon of the month, or whatever the case may be, or the weapon class of the month. Is it scout rifles? Is it pulse rifles? Whatever. And you're gonna sell it back to us for $20 to $30. So to me, that's like literally double slapping you in the face.
Before excuse me, Beyond Light begins, we actually have some efforts on the cheating front, and Bungie is somewhat suing cheaters in a way. They're suing a company that makes a aimbot and wall hacks and whatnot, and that company has since taken down those aimbots and wall hacks that you could purchase from them. Is this enough there, Terry, to make PC cheating a little bit lessened?
No, because it's still happening. It's still happening currently. Like they didn't do anything. They sent one small cease and desist letter, and I'm pretty sure there's still a lot more out there currently. I'm pretty sure they just did it just to be like, hey, look, we're doing something. It's like, okay, and so ban the rest of the people that's doing it now. But apparently they're not even doing that currently. So it's done nothing.
Yeah. I just feel like they probably never really will. One, I'm surprised that the company didn't just tweak whatever the code was. If they built it specifically for Destiny, I mean, literally all they would have to do is just change that part of it, because then it wouldn't be built just for Destiny. So then they can't sue you because it would just be a aimbot that can be used for anything. You could argue people use it to play through the story mode, whatever they want to do, and it will get you out of any legal ramifications of it. But the percentage of people who cheat is very small. A lot of people talk about it because if you come across one or you just know people are doing it, obviously you hate it. But I'm sure that the percentage of people using aimbots and stuff like that is so small, it doesn't really justify them putting the time and resources in to come up with a way to like ban all of them and then have to deal with, a ban that hit somebody that wasn't cheating, so it's probably just too much work for too small of a reward. Like nobody's not playing because of the cheaters. You just get mad, but you still
Their
play.
Trials of Osiris is taking a huge hit. Crucible's getting to the point where it's unplayable too. On console, it's probably
Trials,
not
I don't
terrible.
feel like a lot of people play Trials anyway. Like I feel like most people probably only play Trials if you have like a good squad. But other than that, like you're not going to play because you're going to run into good squads and you're going to get waxed. So like it's not really one of those things you can enjoy by yourself or with like a couple randoms. That's bad. Like if they're not good, you're going to hate Trials.
Yeah, they ended up finding out, well, whoever these individuals that look at numbers anyways, that when they started the whole new light thing and people could make free accounts, that cheating like went up through the roof because people basically would just go and make a spoof account and just go run cheat so that their main account wouldn't take the hit, but their like cheat account was pretty there. Now some people have argued they had to put the time in to get the guns to still do these cheats, and it's been a bit of a mess on the PC side more so than the console side, but it has been somewhat of a deterrent to, as Terry said, playing Crucible and things of that nature. But ultimately I think we're in a time to where it's kind of weird because it's like very out in the open. It's like, oh, yo, we're selling, like literally when you go to their page, it says like Destiny 2 perfect aim hack or whatever. Pay whatever it is to download the software to run it. It's like very, very out in your face kind of sort of. It's like not even like hidden as like a get good, like something kind of covert. So yeah, it's just really weird.
Like not to get sued.
Yeah, pretty much, like, or just to sound like you're not a cheating website. Like you learn how to
Well,
get cheats. It's like
well, I mean, honestly, even if they sued them, I doubt they would win in court because you're not changing anything on, you're not like changing anything of their actual game. Like you're not changing how the game is built, like any of the code or anything. You're literally just changing the packets that you're sending from your own internet to their servers.
Mm.
So technically, you're not hacking their game. You're changing data inside the package, which tells like where, where your aim is and all that type of stuff. And obviously on your end, which is the client end. So in a way, you're not really hacking them. So you could argue that. And two, the company's not actually the one doing it. The end user is the one doing it.
Damn,
It's kind
Gaines,
of
you
like
sound like you
it's kind of like
you got a couple
suing
aimbots there, buddy.
I'm just saying, it's kind of like suing a gun company for another person using their gun to kill people. Just because they used it for that doesn't mean that that was the intention when we made it. So even though they made the aimbot, they can say our intention was never for them to use it in competitive online play. They could just put that in like a little blurb or something at the bottom and say this is only for offline story use, or this is to be used for whatever, and it's kind of at your discretion what you use it for, and that way you're covered on that end. So
But I
I
think
feel like
what can get them
they
though
probably
is
did it
if
more to like threat it, like to try to a big company threaten you and just hope that you don't come to court because you probably don't have the resources to drag it out in court, which is what they're probably going to try to do and just drain you of your funds.
I think the problem though is if the way they can get God is if they're injecting into their game, which most aimbots do. You have to inject into the game in order to use them.
But that's what I'm saying. But they're not actually doing it. When you buy it and you run it, you're the one running the code. So you are the hacker, not the company. You see what I'm saying? You're still the one making that decision as the end user to do it. So just because they created it, they're not actually hacking your game. The person who buys it and then uses it is the one that's doing it. So that right there can be a legal loophole. But like I said, I feel like Bungie would just try to drag it out in court, have you keep bringing your legal team there, and just keep hitting your pockets. And then you figure out this is not viable for us. So you end up changing it or you stop doing it. And that's what a lot of people with tons of money do. They know they don't have an actual legal case. They just want to tie it up in court, keep bringing you there, and hopefully you'll just succumb to the legal pressure, running out of money, or whatever the case is.
with Beyond Light around the corner, a lot of people getting their collector's edition. A lot of lore has been dropped. They've also dropped a ton of exotics that are coming out into the game. I'll just go over a couple real quick. For the Titan, it got the Precious Scars. It's a helmet and it grants Overshield and Revive. I see this as being a super problem in Trials. For the Hunters, you got Bakra's Helmet, which gives Hunters the ability to blink again. Warlocks get something called the Necrotic Grip, which is probably my favorite of them all. But melee starts like a chain poison. So like if there are a bunch of thrall coming at you and you hit one of them with your melee, like they're all gonna get poisoned. And for a weapon, we got the No Time to Explain, and this time you summon like fucking gunfire from an alternate timeline, which is kind of like crazy in itself. And if you can combine that with a little Arc Soul, like that, you'd be like a one-man army by yourself. They revealed a ton more of exotics that'll drop in Beyond Light, and it seemed like they revealed them all. How do you all feel about kind of Bungie's transparency with a lot of information that comes out about the game itself and like things that happen within it? Do y'all think they give too much or not enough?
It's hard to say because this time around, all that stuff was leaked 2 months ago.
Yeah.
So it's like I don't know if it's just them like, all right, well everybody already knows, so here's the information or not. But most of this stuff has been known for about 2 months now.
Yeah, I don't have any issue with it. I mean, I've never, I don't think I've ever been really surprised by anything in Destiny, mostly because if it's like some secret gun, I've never just stumbled upon it. It's always been something I have looked up anyway, like some type of guide to go get it, because the guns in this game are so damn cryptic sometimes to get. I don't know how people even figure them out without guides. So kudos to the people. Obviously, there's someone out there who has to, unless like maybe somehow Dungy. Why did I say Dungy? Tony Dungy somehow crept in my brain. We're going to leave that there because I don't even know why. But Bungie maybe like kind of getting that information out to like higher up people in the community, like big time streamers or the big like time groups that's always world first and stuff like that, to kind of get that gun out into the community or get the community going after it. But
No,
so I don't care how much they tell us.
There's actually an entire Reddit for all that stuff. They do all
That's
that
what I
crap.
mean. That Bungie gives out the information, or
No, that they go out and search for all this information. Like as soon as something is found out, like, I don't know about like people getting the information.
Like, are they getting hints from Bungie, or are they literally just straight vanilla going in there and they like, yo, did you see that marking on that 17th rock on the mountain? I bet you if you do 17 jumps up there, it unlocks a cave, and then inside that cave there's a 42 quest. There's a 42 quest progression to get a pistol, a hand cannon. It's like, what the fuck did you come up with that, Bob? It was in last season. Bungie loves those 17 top shit. But
that shit reminds me of that damn Infinite Care package in Modern Warfare 2, where you had to like knife the ground 3 times,
exactly,
hold the frag and kill yourself.
Who's doing this? Like, or getting a rock when you could get in a rock on Modern Warfare. It's like what? Who did this on accident? And how did you remember what you did? Like, even if you got in and you was like, oh shoot, I got another care package. It's like, what did you do to get it? I have no clue.
Like you said, they probably do leak to the streamers or whoever's big in the content to try and drip feed it out, because there's no possible way. Like, I remember doing the Outbreak the first time.
Yeah.
And I remember it took us probably an hour just to like go over the directions to get that thing. We did it on the first raid, but man, it was a good time.
About the D1.
Yeah. First time that you did it, because you had to use binary or something like that. And it's like,
oh yeah,
bro, like,
yeah, those puzzles be crazy.
Exactly, and you just start thinking to yourself, like, who would think in binary? Why? What? All right, got it, bro. And it's like, there's no possible way. Bungie had to have been like, you know what? We got him.
You know what? Maybe people data mine or something.
Oh,
maybe when they do data mines, maybe that helps them like get ideas of how things kind of connect or whatever, or at least know it's there. I guess I don't know.
Yeah, I kind of feel like they give a little bit too much. It just kind of feels like there's not much to be excited for in terms of oh wow, I just got this exotic. What could it be? And I don't know. Maybe I'm chasing the dragon from when I got my first exotic, but that was a great gaming moment for me.
Are you talking about the Red Death?
Yeah, I can't. Oh my god! When I first got that, I was like, "Yo, what the hell is this?" And I had no idea. So maybe I'm chasing the dragon on that.
Well, I see what you're saying. Now, if it was stuff like kind of like how they gave us the Wither Horde and stuff, like right at the beginning of the season pass, like if they didn't tell us about those type of guns, that'd be cool. Yeah, I guess I see what you're saying. I just meant like the cryptic guns are already cryptic enough. So like any help they can give there, I'm cool with. But like the guns you're just gonna get normally from doing stuff that's like really out in your face, yeah, I guess if they kind of held back on what you were going to get and what the perks are and all that, that might be cool and give you like that little surprise factor if it's actually a pretty good gun.
On to our final topic of the day, which is the biggest one. Beyond Light's coming with the new power and a bunch of other stuff. In comparison to Forsaken and Shadowkeep, does this need to be better for you, or to meet whatever expectation you have of Destiny in this, what is this, year 3?
Going into 4?
Yeah.
Going into 4. So in its current state, with everything going on, how much does Beyond Light need to just what does it need to be? I mean, in terms of Forsaken and Shadowkeep, does it need to be better, on par? Can it be a little bit less, but you're fine because you're going to do power?
Better. Especially if we're about to get to the point of like this game's ultimate enemy, I think it has to be better. There's no way we can sit here and say like, oh, nah, I'll barely get, oh, that's okay, I'll wait till the next one. Like, nah, we're at the point where we've been playing this game for almost 8 years now. Close to?
Yeah.
7 years. And we're finally getting to see exactly who our final enemy is. Like, nah, you can't just come out with some weak shit like that. You got to bring it now. If you don't, it's just like I just wasted 7 years of my life on this game for you to be like, oh, the pyramids is it. Like, nah, you can't do that.
For those who don't know, Terry cussing is a rarity. So that shit was actually very powerful.
Yeah, that was like 1,000 normal shits.
No, they have to come with it. They can't just be like, all right, here you go, and continue like with all the build up, and the next thing you know, they're just like, yeah, I think we're done now. Like, it's been an extreme build up for a while now.
Yeah, I mean, to Terry's point, I do feel like they have to bring it, but do I expect them to bring it? No. I expect them to try, but I don't feel like it's going to live up to people's expectations or their expectations. I mean, the story's just been broken the whole time. Like, we all know that. So I seriously doubt they're going to give us like some really cohesive, grand closing of the story, because they're going to have to rush it. Like, they have so many different avenues that they opened up that they're just not going to have the time to really tie up the way and give them the attention and the content that they probably need to like really fully flesh them out. So it's going to be a lot of like, never going to address this, hurry up and finish this part. Hopefully it's not as bad as Game of Thrones, but I feel like it's going to be close in that vein of like, try to introduce the ultimate evil, try to give you like a quick thing right there of why it's the ultimate evil and who it is, and you kind of beat it, and that's going to be about it. It probably will be. I don't. It's funny because like when we were talking way a while ago, back when you had to pick the sides for the Gambit or the Vanguard, and we were like, you know, I really thought that was going to mean something.
I bet it's us versus the
That'd
others.
be cool. That would be cool.
It.
That would probably be like the best way to end it, in my opinion. Like, I'd be super pumped if that shit like really turned us against each other, and the last raid was literally like Guardians versus Guardians for whatever reason. That would be cool as shit.
Match.
Yeah, but I don't know how it would work.
Aimbots all over the damn place.
50
nah, because you got to be able to kill the ghost. That's for keeps.
Yeah, so I'll say I don't know what they're gonna do with it, but it would be cool. It'd be cool to have a Guardians versus Guardians raid, or like at least like the Guardians are like AI, but they're like the dark versions of you.
I'll be down with them, with us having to fight like Zavala. I don't know, like one of them just turns for whatever reason, which more seems like Zavala would be the one that would do it than anybody.
Yeah,
Zavala probably go to fuck in.
He would be the one person I can see.
All types of supers.
Just because he's always about, oh, we must do better for the city, and the Traveler is all knowing and must do that, and it's just like, you're something off about you, man. You turn against Ikora and Kay at a drop of a hat. I don't know.
Well, I mean, him and Eris been going after that darkness. They've been trying to go talk to the darkness for whatever odd reason. So that might kind of be leading up to us having to fight Zavala, or I guess because what I mean, in one of the scenes it said like that they were Savathun was watching Zavala or something, right?
I can see it happening.
It might be setting us up for having to fight him at the end, and that fight better be crazy.
Like him getting like completely turned by her.
Yeah, he better be sliding in and out of cover, using specials, everything. Aimbot. I want all of it.
The sliding out in and out of cover thing, please no. It brings me back flashbacks of Destiny 2 story.
And have Saint 14 narrated as we're fighting. Yes, that's it. Send that to Bungie. Package it up. Give it to us.
As all things, we would like a 15% cut, please. Thank you.
Yeah, well, they got 2 weeks to make it happen. More than enough time.
B, what does it need to be for you exactly?
It always revolves around the story. I'm really excited about the new powers. I think in conjunction with the other ones, it always like adding a new dimension. I'm sure that they're gonna have to give some tweaks, but if it like counters other stuff, for example, you know how like if you have a bubble and then you use a Nova bomb, they negate each other and then they cancel out. Like I wonder how the stasis powers are working to that. Are stronger than other stuff. Since it's freezing, does solar work against it? Like I want to see how that works out. So that's pretty exciting.
Now you're going
So
into a
like
full out
everything else that's
MMO.
coming with it, I would say it's probably literally just the story mode. So if they bring a little bit more cutscenes, I think I'll be pretty excited.
Yeah, I kind of need this to be better than for me, which was Forsaken, I believe was the DLC I liked the most. I know it's not going to be better than Forsaken, but that's out of a personal thing for me. Mainly because it was like, Cade gets killed. You want to go ride out for Cade and all that. I gave you some format of something you were working towards and something that finally made a little bit more sense than the norm. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be as good as Forsaken. Maybe with Europa and the Deepstone Crypt being there, and that's where Cade kind of wanted you to go investigate before, like his dying wish or whatever. So maybe it has the potential to be, but with the vaulting of all this content, like it does need to be something crazy. And also, I need it to let me know if Destiny 3 is a thing or if it's gonna,
I
end
think that was
here.
scratched. I think that
You're
was
not going to hear
scratched.
about that until after they figure out how much
I'm pretty sure
and
Destiny
whether or
3
not
was
it's worth
scratched
pushing to
completely.
the new one.
Yeah, I mean, unless they lied. I mean, I ain't gonna say they lied. I ain't gonna. That's pretty strong, because you can always have that as your real plan. Because they said there is no dungeon. God dang it, dungeon. What is
That's not
that?
Destiny 3.
There is no Destiny 3. Like, it's not going to go to another number. They already said that. They actually said that when they were at the press conference talking about Beyond Light and whatever the next
Like the next steps
DLC.
were and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
whatever the next DLC. Those last two are supposed to be it. So they said they're not doing another Destiny 3. So but money talks. So that could be their plan, and Sony or whoever could come at them and be like, you're doing a Destiny 3. But we're doing a Destiny 3. How
No.
to do it on the game, the
Bungie's
Daenerys chick with the really though. They're like, there's no Destiny 3, Sony. It's like, really though?
nah, Bungie's
Is there
going down
not?
the publisher route. Bungie wants to be the publisher.
Yeah, everyone wants to do something until money
As
comes
Kane
into
says,
play.
yeah, money comes around and
Yeah.
you'll be willing to sign that
I
deal.
don't know.
When they give you stupid money where you like, oh, they gave us like, say 500 million last time to do it, and you're like, I ain't doing that shit for like, I don't care if they gave us 800 million, I'm not making a Destiny 3. And then they come there and be like, about 1.1 billion. And like, Todd, get the drawing characters, bitch.
Oh wait, no, I'm thinking about Activision.
3 and 4
Never mind.
just got greenlit today. Cancel Christmas because we gonna be working. I love this game.
For whatever reason,
I thought it was over. There's so much content left.
For whatever reason, I thought you were talking about Activision. I don't know why I thought that. Never mind. I forgot Sony is. Yeah, they would try to go after something from Bungie. I
Shit,
forgot they're on
Microsoft
the.
been trying to buy Bungie again, so
Yeah.
that could be
I
their
heard that.
plans.
They might. I don't know.
Exclusive Dungeon. Damn it.
Xbox has been
Exclusive
pushing
Destiny
Destiny content.
Xbox
but
trying to come back after getting all them late ass strikes and shit at the beginning. Like, PlayStation think they funny, huh? Wait till we take the whole fucking universe. Like, what? Calm down.
But all in all, I'm pretty excited for Beyond Light and this whole Light series that's coming out. God, it escaped me. What was it? Lightfall. It was Lightfall the last one.
Yeah.
Beyond Light.
Lightfall or Fallen Light or something like that.
Yeah, so I'm really interested to see what they do with all this, and if Savathun ends up showing up in this series, or if that's going to be year 4. Destiny 2 will be the final showing up of Savathun, as that's also something that they've been building up for quite some time.
Been building her up for a while now.
That's definitely going to be interesting to see.
Man, can't wait to play it on the new consoles, so we get the whole band back together, hopefully. So we've all been fragmented. We went down our each dark path. So
you know what solved that?
Quite a dark path you did see there.
Hey, I enjoyed it. The darkness, it was fun down there.
Terry was the darkest though.
Yeah, Terry really left. He left the whole ecosystem. So He's a terrible person.
Bring me a crossplay and I'll be happy. Give me a crossplay. Don't tell me it's going to be
I
a
don't
whole
think-
year before they do it.
I don't think they're even going to do it because they wait a year. Then I mean, what? There's only be one DLC left. Why do all the work if you're only going to put out one more DLC?
They decided to go across generation.
It probably is. I'm pretty sure it's going to end up being a thing.
They
Too
chose
much money to be
cross
made.
generation.
It's too much money on the line for them to be like, no, we're not gonna
Yeah.
do it. Not to
That's
mention
what I'm
this
saying.
universe is already so saturated. They're giving so many jobs unless they're new. What's that new shit called? They
What
got
new
a new
shit?
project they're working.
Are you talking about Matter?
Yeah, unless that's
Yeah.
that new work. You know what I mean? Which I
They're
doubt.
probably just trying to get away from Destiny. They probably just burnt out. Not saying they burnt out from giving great story, but they probably just burnt out from having to support it all the time. They probably just don't want to do it. But I mean, there's enough loose ends everywhere throughout the story. I mean, there's definitely content to be made. So
No,
I feel like that.
I feel like they're tying up their loose ends. I don't know what you mean when you say that though.
Really?
They have
Yeah,
a lot
I'm
of them.
serious.
They have a lot of
Huh.
Like we know who Elsa Bray is, who was chick from the first joint.
Well, put it like this: do they say this in the game, or are you getting this from other sources?
Fair
Because
enough.
I don't go outside of the game. That's why I say that. Like, so if it's not like in a quest or in a strike or in a raid, I don't know what's going on.
I still think they need to add that library.
Yeah,
so
the
that
library
you
would
can
be
see what
great.
so you can like look at past events and see what the hell happened in the game. Possibly look at all the cutscenes. That's all you need, just to see the whole story.
True, but there's no way to get those cutscenes.
As I said,
Well, I mean,
they
I
need
guess
to
you can
add
go
a
back and
library.
play it. Oh wait, we won't be able to go back and play it. Oh.
You're a trip.
Zing.
Well, that sounds like those were the closing thoughts. You will not be able to go back and watch any cutscenes ever unless you go on YouTube. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, this has been the wrap up for the season of Arrivals and the prelude to Beyond Light. Don't worry, we'll be back at some point during Beyond Light to let you know how we're feeling about that season, or DLC, should I say. The season of the Hunt. Beyond Light is the DLC drop. So we'll be back at that point to let you all know what we're thinking about that and how we're feeling about our sword being nerfed. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you all are doing well and this finds you well. As usual, peace, be easy, be blessed.